Today, piece of work. An Australian guy who came to Amsterdam in 2001. He works now as a creative director for Euro RSCG 4D. It's Darren Reynoldson. Darren, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're here to talk about the Durex campaign that you made. Can you tell me something about the creative process that you went through?
Sure. This campaign was to launch a lubricant range, and lubes are not something that most people use in their normal sex life.
That's glijmiddel in Dutch, isn't it?
And we wanted to normalize it to make people think that it's not just for, say, gay men, it's not just for people with dryness issues, that everyone was lubing up.
It's really normal to use it.
Yeah, that it was normal to use it. And so we thought, what can we do to make people think that it is normal? Let's associate it with something which we do every day, which is smile. And so the whole concept comes from the idea that if you've had good sex, if you've had great sex because you've lubed up the night before,
you will smile.
You will have a particular smile on your face, yeah, exactly. And that people will be able to tell that you've had great sex. It's that thing you come into work and somebody says, "What are you smiling about?" Because they know that smile.
You shine just like your mama said. You glow from the inside out. You've got the very thing I love.
What we see is a girl who is thinking about the great sex that she had last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's caught in the act of reliving that moment that she had the night before.
Yeah, yeah. Can you talk us through the process of making this film? Where was it shot? How did you do that?
We shot it in Rotterdam on the metro system there.
Because it looks really international, actually.
It does actually, which is surprising because the trams in Rotterdam are god ugly, except for this one. We had to wait for this one for about 2 hours to come along. It's kind of a more retro one of the metros. Yeah, yeah. We had a carriage to ourselves for, I think, 3 hours, not a long time.
There was pressure.
Yeah, it was pressure. And that model, I have to say, it was a freezing day and she smiled for 3 hours on cue every time. She was fantastic.
Okay. A Dutch girl?
Yeah, Dutch girl. Okay. And the key thing to her smile is that we didn't want the cheesy toothpaste commercial smile. We wanted something more enigmatic. We wanted something more like
internal?
Yeah, like she's sharing the private moment just with herself, not with anybody else, but the camera catches her. And she realises she's been caught out, yeah, and goes back into her reverie. So it had to be very intimate and very personal and quite subtle.
Now, another thing that this campaign really has a strong focus on, you know, you're from 4D, yeah, so that's social media. Yeah. Now, when you enter the Facebook page, you first have to like Durex. That's a sort of a bridge to take.
The like button is sometimes a barrier. You don't actually have to like to look at the Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to like to look at the people who've uploaded photos. You do have to like it if you want to upload your own photo. So that's the only barrier, I guess. Okay. But it's just part of the way Facebook works.
What did you see there? Was it a barrier to like Durex? Or?
No, not really. I mean, the barrier for really is uploading a photo. I mean, we've had about, I think, 4,000 people have actually come to the site. We've got like 4,000 unique people who have come to the app.
And how many likes?
We've had 7,000 just this morning have liked the page, but only about 500 people have actually uploaded their photos. So that's quite low proportionally.
How many?
About 400 or 500 people have uploaded their photos, but that's a big ask for people to actually put their photo up on 10%? A public forum. It's 10% is not bad.
It's not so bad.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Actually quite good.
And the nice thing about it is people have been taking it seriously. We were worried that people might take photos of other parts of their body, and they haven't. They've all been focused on their faces and giving us very, very nice smiles.
About this like red race, because we're all in it, yeah, and you as a 4D person even more. Yeah. How do you stand? How do you think about it?
Look, the like button has become, it's like the holy grail. You know, everybody wants to get likes, and of course you should, because it's a great way to talk to your audience, yeah, to your consumers.
The new direct marketing tool, actually.
Well, it is a real direct marketing tool, because instead of getting something in the mail where you just put in the bin, you've actually got something on your wall that you can look at on a daily basis if you want to. And so it's kind of micro direct marketing. You can give people little pieces of information each day and just keep them in the loop about what you're doing. Yeah. And the great thing about it is that you can kind of test, if we do this on this day and that on that day, and this one gets more of a response, more people liking it or commenting, you can kind of then judge what you do subsequently.
Okay. We asked you to take some inspiration sources. Now you took it very literally because you took inspiration sources for this particular campaign. Photos of commuting people in Japan.
Well, the thing about it is, last year in Art Amsterdam, the exhibition, there was a photographer, Michael Wolf, who had a series called Compression about commuters on subways in Tokyo.
Compression is...
And it's about people stuck in metro stations, metro carriages. And some of them are just the most beautiful images of people having the most deeply intense personal moment in a public sphere. And that's kind of what we, like this one, it's just gorgeous.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's what we kind of wanted to create with
this. Is really sexy as well.
It is really beautiful. It's a beautiful image. It's almost like a Mona Lisa.
Yeah. And I don't see any smile here.
No, but that's what we wanted to create, is that deeply personal moment that you're only sharing with yourself, but in a public space. Because that's where that kind of what are you smiling about comes into play. It's someone sharing something only with themselves, but somebody else in the carriage catches them at that moment. I mean, these are all quite sad. But we wanted to capture that notion of.
In another way, it was an inspiration.
It was an inspiration in terms of capture a personal moment in a public space.
Yeah. Okay. Your favorite campaign, Darren? Tell us all about it.
Well, it was a campaign from last year. It's called The Wilderness Downtown. It was basically an interactive video clip for a band called Arcade Fire, basically to showcase what Google can do with Chrome. So it's an HTML5 site, and it's kind of geeky technically, but what's really nice about it is you put in your hometown where you're born. Strathmerton in Victoria is where I'm from originally in Australia. Okay. And then when you play the film, it uses all different windows to show you different things. That's my hometown, you know.
Yeah.
That's an aerial, that's a Google Maps view of my town, and this guy running could be me. And the really lovely thing about it is that eventually they ask you to type a little message to your former self who grew up in this town. So it becomes quite deeply personal. So it involves you in this really nice story. So it's combining the technology, it's combining music, it's combining art to bring it into this place, which is just a beautiful expression, I think.
What did you write to yourself?
What did I write to myself?
Yeah.
I actually literally wrote to myself that don't worry, it gets better. You will leave this town and it'll all get better from there.
Well, Darren, thank you very much for coming to our studio.
My pleasure being here.
It was great having you. Thank you very much watching this episode of Piece of Work, and hopefully until the next time. Bye-bye.